Hey you guys, I'm doing some canning today and just had picked a bunch of mulberries last year and we froze them, and even though it's spring, the weather is still really chilly outside, and so I thought it's probably a pretty good day to do some canning. So I'm making my jam, and I don't know if you've ever made jam before, but a lot of times there will be this foam that rises up on the top of your pan and you have to skim that foam off. Otherwise, whenever you're canning, you've got that nasty foam on the top of your jelly jars, and it's just not really appealing to the eye. So anyway, you scrape that stuff off. It's just air bubbles that kind of come up. And as I was doing that, I got to thinking about so many verses in the Bible that talk about getting those impurities out of our life. Clearing out all that junk from our heart that starts to clutter up our life and take us further away from the Lord, where people don't know if we're following the world or following the Word. So I just want to show it to you so you can kind of see what it looks like. So that's the foam there. It just gathers on top, and you just have to kind of go in and you just have to kind of scrape it off and take it out. And so, I don't know, if you've got stuff in your life, if there's just pride in your life or greed in your life or lust in your life, get it out. So sometimes it's a never-ending process of scraping that stuff off, and eventually you get it all, and then once you're canning, it comes out nice and clean. Your jars look awesome. And so I just want to remind you, if there's something in your life, if there's just nasty foam that is coming up, like greed or lust or hate or jealousy, any of that stuff, skim that stuff out of your life. Skim that stuff off of your heart. Because otherwise, if you don't get it out, it's going to be nasty. Your life is going to be nasty. It's going to be cluttered, and it's not going to be how the Lord wants you to be living. So how do you do this? How do you get that foam off? Well, it depends on what it is. Maybe social media is tempting you to be jealous and envy and have hatred in your heart. Maybe it's the things you're listening to. Turn that stuff off. Maybe you need to take a break from social media. Maybe you need to stop listening to certain music or watching certain channels or movies or talking to certain people. Set up some boundaries. Whatever it takes to skim that stuff out of your life, off of your heart, so that you can more walk closely with the Lord, following what He says in His Word to do. And sometimes we just need a little bit of help. So I'm praying for you, and my desire is that you will be walking closer to the Lord, that you are living real life faith, reading God's Word, letting it get in your heart and move you and change you to living how He wants you to be. He doesn't want that junk in your life. So do yourself a favor and skim it out.